Hello, hello, crafty friends. This is Randy here with We Crafty Creations, and I am here to do another video about Goimagine. I wanted to talk about the Goimagine analytics that are automatically built in here for us to see. I got a recent question from one of the YouTube viewers asking some more about that, and I looked back at my last video, and it was from a year and a half ago. So I think it's time to update this video. So this is just an update to a more video in the past, if you will. And so I'm just here at dashboard.goimagine.com. This is the dashboard. I would consider this the main dashboard at this point. This was the new dashboard for quite a while. But since then they have done a lot of improvements to it, and the other dashboard is goimagine.com/vendor.php. So if you're using that one, I would definitely consider that the old dashboard at this point. But if there's something on this dashboard that's not working properly, sometimes we go back to the other dashboard. But this is the one that I've been trying to use as much as possible, because eventually the old dashboard is going away, and that's the plan. They just want to make sure this one works perfectly, so it's good to use it so we can work out any kinks if there's any problems. So if I just go here to dashboard.goimagine.com, it starts me on this page here. This is on my phone. If you're on a computer screen, it's going to be more spread out, and the menu is going to show on the left-hand side. But on here, I have to click these three little lines at the top to make the menu show up. And then you can click these to expand. These three things have expansions to them and the other ones don't. So if you click on it, it takes you straight there. So to see your analytics and see what's going on in your shop, you're going to go to Shop Settings, the bottom one here, and then you're going to go down to Analytics, which is the fourth one within this submenu. So I click on Analytics, and the dates at the top are really squished up. They don't do that on the computer, just on my phone. If I turn my phone sideways, it'll pull it out, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal. If you click on these dates, you can change the date range in which you want to check your analytics. So I'm going to go back to December 1st through January 1st. So this will be kind of a little later in the Christmas season. Not really the most popular time for it, because it's almost too late for most of it, or it is too late for part of it. And it does take a minute for this to load. This is normal. I have a really fast internet, and it still takes a minute for this to load for me. So don't worry if it does that. Just wait and be patient. And then the first section on here we've got is sessions by state. Now this one can be important because if you have been playing around in your shop and viewing your shop as a buyer, then you know if your state has a lot of views and no other state does, it's most likely just you. So if you're looking at a really shorter period of time, you might notice this more, and you'll see that your state always has a lot of views, and that's because you've been playing around in your shop. You edit a listing, and then you want to go back and look at that listing, things like that. That's going to affect this number. And I believe this is the total sessions. So it's saying, that one person in Montana, or let's see, I think that's probably two people in Oregon. It's kind of hard to tell. These colors are a little close together for me. I wish they would come up with a different color scheme that was a little bit more variety, because they're a little too close to tell between like the 2 and the 3. I can tell, but it's a little hard. Maybe it's easier on the computer than it would be on your phone. But just my opinion on it. But yeah, that's basically, it's kind of nice to know where people are coming from that are looking at your site and what state they're in when they're doing so. And then when we scroll down a little bit further here, we've got sessions by device category. And this is, mobile, desktop, or tablet. I don't find this information to be very important, but some people might. And I know that these words are all cut off on here. If you click on things, it'll expand things for you. It doesn't expand. Oh, it does expand here. So that way you can see for sure. Yeah, see, it's 2 for Oregon. And then it was 2 for Arizona. See, I thought that might be a 3. I don't think I have any 3s on here. I think it's either 2 or jumps to 5+. Oh, 3 in Michigan. So you can find that out by clicking on the state specifically. But anyways, go back to this section here for the by device. You know, this might be important to some people for different reasons that I can't really think of right now. But, you know, the only thing that I can think of that's different between mobile and desktop is my mosaic banners are different for both. But other than that, I don't really think that it's going to be a huge different experience for a customer, and it doesn't really make a difference in anything that I'm going to do with my shop. So then this next section here is, in my opinion, one of the more important sections, and this says sessions by medium. And basically what it means is, where did this customer come from and how did they end up, you know, getting to Goimagine and getting to your site. And I actually made a separate infograph for this because it's a little bit confusing. So I'm going to go over here to this infograph, and I recommend that if you want to, go ahead and screenshot this. I'll leave it up on here for a minute. If you wanted to screenshot this, this might be helpful to you at a later time. But a referral is basically a link that somebody clicked that you probably are the one who put that out there. It could be somebody other than you. It could be from Pinterest and somebody else pinned your item and put your link there. But, you know, 9 times out of 10, I think it's you posting something on social media and putting your link, whether that's on Facebook, whether it's Instagram, you know, it could be almost anything really. But it's them coming to you. You can also do a mailing list, and you can put links in your mailing list and send out an email that says, hey, I'm doing 20% off everything in my shop this weekend, or something like that. Or, hey, I've got these new products that I just dropped, you know, come check them out, that kind of thing. And then that would also fall under the referral. Organic is an unpaid result from a search engine. So this is mostly Google, but it can be other search engines as well, including Bing, and you know, I know they have some others out there that aren't as mainstream, but are still used. And we do have all of our products are automatically indexed into Google. That's something Goimagine set up for us, basically. And so they're automatically indexed in as long as they qualify under Google's standards. And there is a whole article on Goimagine in the help section, the seller help section, that goes over how to make sure your stuff is ready for Google, basically. And there's certain things they don't want, like in the title of your product, you shouldn't say free shipping, for example, was one of the examples they give. But there's, you know, some different things that are pretty important. So if you haven't looked at that, take a look. I believe I have a video for that somewhere. If I do, I'll link it up above. I think I have a video that kind of talks about that specifically. But yeah, that's organic. And then if it says none, it means that the person was on just the regular Goimagine site, and then they searched within Goimagine for something probably, or they saw it on the homepage or one of the categories, and then they clicked on your item and got to your shop through the main Goimagine site. And the last one is cost per click, and that's some type of ad. There's not a whole lot of ads that are running like this right now, but back in the day, they were doing more ads for this, and you know, you could still do an ad as a you know, seller on Goimagine. But yeah, I just had one thing come through for cost per click for some kind of ad of some sort that was paid for. So yeah, that's that section. And then we go down a little bit further, and then it's items by category. And so, you know, everyone's going to be different on how many categories they have, if they have very many categories. One of the reasons why I started making more detailed categories is because I wanted to see what items were being seen in my shop. And it won't show you anywhere on here that I'm aware of that you can see specifically that my custom cat magnet was viewed such and such times. I don't think that's on there, but I do have these different categories. So they've got one that's just the overall products. That's kind of interesting. But then they've got, I've got kitchen and dining. Oh, I just realized these aren't my categories. These are Goimagine categories. So actually it didn't help me to make more categories. But that's okay. It's still good to have a lot of categories in my opinion, as long as they make sense and they all kind of go together. But no, these are Goimagine categories. So sorry if that's a little bit confusing, but Goimagine has you choose from their categories. But then you also, in your shop, you can make, and it's not called categories, I don't think. I think I'm being silly about this. Here, let's make another, let's see what maybe it'll tell me what it's called when I go to my shop. It's not calling what that is. Let's see. Sorry guys, hang with me for 1 second while I figure out what that's called. Well, it's called shop categories. Okay, I'm not crazy. So so yeah, it's shop categories versus the company categories, basically the Goimagine categories. So yeah, that's kind of not super important to differentiate, but for this purpose. But on the analytics page here, this lets us know during the month of December, basically, these were the categories that people were finding my items in and looking at my items. So kitchen and dining was the highest, which I sell magnets, and so I put a lot of them under kitchen and dining, and then there are subcategories below that, but these are kind of the main category level. And then you can see this, you know, fun, colorful chart that shows you in a more visual way, I guess. And then we've got the dates. So the peak date was December 12th, where there were 21 views on items. So that can be good to look at too, see where things are more popular. And if you did run a social media campaign or something, you can see where things, you know, took off for you and where you got more traction, basically. And then select items by date. Oh, this is a long-term thing because it's showing August 2023 through August 31st. Yeah, I don't know. I think this one's broken, to be honest. This doesn't make sense to me at all. Select item tracking did not work between August 3rd and August 30th. Well, I was looking for January or December 1st through January 1st, so I'm not really sure why it's coming up with those dates. That's really strange. The add to carts is correct. So these are the times that something was added to the cart. I don't know, and I'll have to go and reference, did I make a sale on December 3rd, and then did I make another sale on December 9th, or 2 sales on December 9th, I should say. So I'll have to go back and look and compare, but at least these were added to cart, but it doesn't show you, and hopefully eventually they'll add it in if it can show you what sales you made in comparison to what was added to cart, if that makes any sense. And there's a little button next to each one that says download results. And there are some buttons that say I for info. They're not showing up on here now, but they were earlier, and they do on the computer. And so if you click that info, it gives you a little bit of info about that area. But I found that it was like cutting it off. It was talking about sessions by medium, and it mentioned referral, and I think it mentioned organic, and then it cut off, and there wasn't enough room for it to mention what the other ones were. So it wasn't super duper helpful, but at least gave you a little bit of information. But yeah, you can change the dates. Oh, I just accidentally refreshed my page. You can change the dates to whatever time period you want to look at. I definitely don't recommend looking at a really short time period unless you're super busy, because the thing is, you know, you're not going to get very much results, and there's not going to be a lot of data to work with to understand how you're doing. And don't worry, you know, if you're not getting views every day, that's normal. And unfortunately, there's not just a huge ton of traffic for organic stuff coming to Goimagine. So you really need to get out there and check out my other videos about, you know, getting seen out there and working on Pinterest or Instagram or whichever social media you do the best with, and trying to get more, you know, get more people to see your items. And that's really important. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and it explained more how to work on this analytics page. It's pretty easy to get to. You can do it from your phone or from your computer. And yeah, I think it's pretty helpful information on here, and I do think eventually this will be expanded a little bit. This information, from my understanding, does come from Google Analytics directly, basically, and that's how it feeds into here, and that's something that Goimagine has signed up for and integrated with to make that happen for us. But of course, you know, it's not perfect and it's not super detailed at this time, so of course we always hope for more. We're always asking for more and improvements, and they're working as fast as they can to constantly improve things on Goimagine, but, you know, it just does take time and it does take money. So we got to be patient and hang in there. And yeah, if anybody has any other ideas for videos like this, definitely leave a comment. Let me know what else do you want to see and see how it all works. I don't just jump on here and start doing it. I had to do a little bit of research to figure out what these different mediums were. Because I could not remember. It was talked about at one point, but I could not remember. So I did a little bit of research to find that information. But that's what I want to do for you guys is, you know, get a little deeper, dig a little deeper on particular subjects. And if you have just more generalized questions, or if you have a lot of questions, then it's usually good to go onto Facebook and go into the official makers group, or you can go into my Facebook group, Goimagine Help, and ask questions there. And it's a little bit easier to give more detailed answers than to give answers in a comment under a video. Don't mind questions there, but it's just sometimes I can't answer and I'm not sure what you're asking, and it would be easier to have some kind of back and forth conversation, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you found this helpful or entertaining in any way, and make sure to subscribe to see more videos like this. I definitely plan on doing some more. Thank you.